You open your eyes. You don't know where you are. The ceiling above you is white, painted wood, varnished. It smells like salt and engine oil. You sit up. You're in a bunk, a narrow steel bunk bolted to a wall. Around you, 3 other bunks, stacked tight, all empty. You look down. You're wearing a white shirt, suspenders, dark wool trousers. Your shoes are laced, already on. There's a small porthole to your left. Outside, nothing but gray ocean, moving, endless. You stand up. Your legs are steady, but your mind is spinning. You check your pockets. A small folded piece of paper. You open it. It says, "Third class, berth 14, RMS Titanic, Southampton to New York, April 10th, 1912. April 10th. You know what that means. The ship sank on April 15th. You have 5 days. You step out into the corridor. Long, low-ceilinged, dimly lit. The walls vibrate with the hum of engines deep below. Other passengers pass you. Men in caps and coats, women in long wool dresses holding children by the hand. They speak in Polish, in Italian, in Irish accents. These are third-class passengers. Steerage. Over 700 people packed into the lower decks. The ones history mostly forgot. You walk toward the sound of voices. There's a common room ahead. Wooden benches, a few card games, someone playing an accordion. People laughing, talking, dreaming about America. None of them know. But you do. You have exactly 5 days to survive the unsurvivable. Level 2. Learning the ship. You need to move fast, but first you need to know this ship. You pull out a folded floor plan from the back of your bunk pocket. You don't know how it got there, but it's detailed. The Titanic has 10 decks. You are on G deck, third-class cabins, deep in the hull, near the bow. The lifeboats are on the boat deck. That's 6 decks above you. Between you and those lifeboats, first-class dining rooms, promenades, locked gates, and a crew that doesn't want you anywhere near the upper decks. You need to learn the path. You spend the first day walking. You memorize corridors. You count staircases. You note which doors are locked and which ones just look locked. At one point, a steward stops you near E deck. Third-class passengers are restricted to, "I know, I was just looking for the lavatory." He eyes you, points back down the corridor. You go back, but you made a mental note. The gate between third and second class on E deck, it's latched, not locked. One finger through the grate is all it takes to lift it. That's your first route. You eat dinner in the third-class dining room that night. White bean soup, boiled potatoes, bread. Not bad, actually. You sit across from a man named Alexei, Polish, big hands, quiet eyes. He's going to Chicago, to a cousin who works in a factory. He tells you his wife and daughter are 2 berths down. Their names are Marta and little Zosha. She's 4. You nod and eat. You don't tell him what's coming. Not yet. Level 3. Making allies. April 11th. You wake early. The ocean is calm. The sky is blue. If you didn't know better, this would feel like paradise. But you know better. You spend the morning doing something important, making people trust you. You help an older Irish woman carry her trunk to storage. Her name is Bridget. She's 62, traveling alone, going to her daughter in Boston. You help a young couple, newlyweds from Croatia, figure out the dining schedule. They're confused, grateful. You fix a British man's suspender clip with a bent pin you found on the floor. Small things, but people notice. By midday, 6 or 7 people in third class know your face. They nod at you in the corridor. Alexei introduces you to his wife, Marta. Little Zosha tugs on your sleeve and shows you a rag doll. You smile. But inside, you're calculating. You know that when this ship hits the iceberg on the night of April 14th, the chaos that follows will be brutal. The third-class gates will be locked, or confused crew members will hold passengers back. Lifeboats will fill with first-class women, and over 500 third-class passengers will die. Alexei, Martha, Zosha, if you don't act, they die too. You make a decision. You'll get them out. All of them, if you can. Level 4. Cracking the Upper Decks. April 12th. You need to scout the route to the lifeboats, all the way, from bottom to top, in daylight when it's less suspicious. You put on a slightly nicer jacket you borrowed from a man who left it on a bench. You comb your hair back. You walk with your shoulders up. Confidence is a costume. You take your route through E-deck. You lift the latch, step through, close it quietly behind you. Now you're in second-class territory, cleaner, quieter. The carpet is real. The walls have molding. Passengers here wear suits and dresses that actually fit. You walk like you belong. A steward glances at you. You nod. He nods, back, keeps walking. You follow the staircase up. D-deck, C-deck, B-deck. You're in first class now. The difference is shocking. It smells like perfume and fresh linen up here. Palm plants in pots, carved oak paneling. A woman in pearls walks past with a small white dog on a leash. She doesn't even look at you. Good. You find the grand staircase, that enormous glass dome overhead, the famous clock between the 2 flights. It's even more beautiful in person, more tragic. You take the stairs up to A-deck, then up to the boat deck. You step outside. The North Atlantic wind hits you like a wall, cold, sharp, relentless. And there they are, the lifeboats, 20 of them, hanging from davits along both sides of the ship. Each one can hold around 65 people. Together, they can save maybe 1,178. The Titanic has 2,224 people on board. You do the math. Over 1,000 people will go into that water. You stand at the railing and look down. The ocean is 50 feet below, dark, flat, deceptively still. You count the lifeboats on the port side, left side. You memorize which ones are closest to the staircases, which side is easier to access in chaos. Starboard, right side, slightly more accessible from where you need to come from. You note that lifeboat 13 on the starboard side, that one historically got overloaded and almost crushed lifeboat 15 underneath it. Avoid that one. Aim for lifeboat 11 or 12. You have a plan. You walk back down, through first class, through second class, through the latch gate, back to G-deck, back to your bunk. You sit down and breathe. 3 days left. Level 5. The Weight of Knowing. April 13th. This is the day it gets hard. Not physically, emotionally. You sit at breakfast with Alexei and his family. Zozia is laughing at something, soup on her chin. Marta is telling a story about their village back home. Alexei is listening to her with this look on his face. Pure, simple love. You watch them and feel something twist in your chest, because you know that in 36 hours, this ship is going to tear in half, and the water that floods these lower decks, it'll be 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Humans lose motor function in under 2 minutes in that water, unconscious in 15 to 30, dead in under an hour. You have to tell them. But how? The ship is going to sink is not something people just accept. In 1912, the Titanic is considered the safest ship ever built. The newspapers called it unsinkable. The engineers believed it. If you say this to random passengers, they'll think you're mad. You might get reported to the crew. You could get locked up and never reach the lifeboats yourself. You need to be careful. You decide to tell only Alexei. That night, after dinner, when the common room thins out, you pull him aside. You tell him there's going to be an accident. You don't say how you know. You tell him when, late Sunday night, around midnight. You tell him to trust you and be ready. He looks at you for a long moment. You can see him deciding. "Okay," he says finally. "We trust you." You nod, but you feel the weight of it now. Because you can't save everyone. You know that. The math doesn't work. Not enough lifeboats. Not enough time. Some of the people you've smiled at, helped, eaten with, they're going to die, and there's nothing you can do. Level 6. The Last Perfect Night. April 14th, 1912. Sunday. The sky today is impossible. Deep blue, not a cloud anywhere. The ocean is flat, like a mirror. Beautiful. Deadly. You know that clear skies tonight mean cold air. Cold air means the iceberg the lookouts will spot, they'll spot it too late. No moon tonight either. It'll be nearly pitch black on the water. At 11:40 p.m., lookout Frederick Fleet will pick up the phone in the crow's nest and say, "Iceberg, right ahead." The ship will try to turn, but at that speed, 22 knots, there isn't enough time. The iceberg doesn't look dramatic when it hits. It's almost quiet from the upper decks. A scrape, a shudder, some broken ice falling onto the forward deck. Passengers playing cards in the smoking room will barely notice. But below the waterline, 5 compartment walls have been breached. The ship is already dead. It just doesn't know it yet. You spend the day like it's your last, because for many people on this ship, it is. You eat a full lunch. You walk the stern deck in the afternoon sun. You help Zosha try to catch a seagull that's following the ship. She almost does. She's delighted. You drink a cup of tea with Bridget, the Irish woman. She talks about her daughter in Boston. A woman named Clara. Works in a bakery. Makes the best brown bread in Massachusetts, Bridget says. She laughs at that. You laugh too. At dinner, the food is good. Roast pork, cabbage, warm bread. Someone plays the accordion again. People are singing, dancing even. This is the last supper for some of them, and they don't know it. And they're happy. And that specific sadness, is the heaviest thing you've ever carried. You go to your bunk at 9 p.m. You don't sleep. You lie in the dark and listen to the engines. The ship is going full speed. You wait. Level 7. Impact. 11:40 p.m. You feel it. Not an explosion, not a crash, a shudder, a grinding vibration through the steel, like the whole ship shivered. Then silence. The engine slow. A few people in the corridor mutter, half awake. You're already on your feet. You shake Alexei's bunk. Now, you say. It's now. Wake your family. Bring coats. Leave everything else. He looks at you, still half asleep. Now. He moves. You go down the corridor, banging on doors. Get up. Life vests. Get up. Life vests. People are confused, annoyed. One man curses at you in Hungarian. The ship is sinking, you say, flat, calm. Put your life vest on and come with me if you want to live. Some people follow you. Most don't, not yet. You lead your group, Alexei, Marta, Zozia, Brigid, and 4 others toward the staircase on the starboard side. It's 11:52 p.m. You have until approximately 2:20 a.m. before the ship goes under. You have 88 minutes. Level 8. The gates. The gate at the base of the third-class staircase is locked. Of course it is. Some gates were locked, others were just guarded. History is still debated. But standing in front of you, right now, is a young crew member. Can't be more than 19. White uniform, pale face, clearly scared. "No one passes without authorization," he says. His voice shakes. "Listen to me," you say, quietly, directly. "The ship has been hit. The hull is breached. This ship is going under in less than 2 hours. You can stand there and follow orders, where you can open that gate and go get your own life vest." He stares at you. Behind you, little Zosha is crying. Marta is holding her close. The young crew member looks at the child. He steps aside. He doesn't open the gate, but he steps aside. You pull the latch yourself, push it open. You wave your group through. "Thank you," you say to him. "Sir," he calls after you, voice cracking. You stop. "Is it really that bad?" You look back at him. "Get your life vest," you say. You don't wait to see if he listens. Level 9. Climbing. 12:20 a.m. You're on E deck. Your group is 10 people now. A few stragglers joined you in the stairwell. The corridors up here are starting to fill. Passengers from first and second class in nightgowns and fur coats, all moving upward, some calm, some crying. You push against the flow to stay near the starboard staircase. A man in a tuxedo, first class clearly, bumps into you. He's wild-eyed, gripping a bottle of whiskey. "Is there space on the boats?" he demands. "Women and children first," you say. "Keep moving." He calls you something ugly and pushes past. You keep climbing. On C deck, you pass a door and hear water. Not a drip, a sound like pressure, like a wall about to give. The bow is flooding fast. "Faster," you tell your group. On A deck, the angle of the floor has already shifted, barely noticeable, maybe 1 or 2 degrees, but you feel it. The ship is going down at the nose. You reach the boat deck, 12:35 a.m. Cold hits you like a wall. 28 degrees, maybe colder with the wind. The deck is chaos. Officers shouting, women screaming for their husbands, men being pushed back. Rockets firing into the sky, brilliant white arcs exploding above you. Distress signals. There are no ships coming, not in time. You scan the starboard side. Lifeboat 11 is being loaded. "That one," you say. "Move."